January 6th, 2023 is when I decided to take my first step into what will likely be what I do for the most of my 20s. I decided to publish a YouTube video during my spare time after work. Ignore these videos, they don't matter. 2022 was an especially miserable year for me. I was just recovering financially from buying a used car, I was out of college and still working at a minimum wage grocery store job with a degree I couldn't use. Needless to say, I felt out of place, and through having a lot of conversations with myself, I decided to take a dramatic left turn and decided I would make a name for myself my way. And I decided to take YouTube seriously as a career. It certainly wasn't easy. My first video was 360p, and none of my videos became watchable until May. Fast forward to January 2024, and I've reached 35,000 subscribers. All of that in one single year is absurd, unbelievable even, but I did it. Consider this video a huge, massive thank you to everyone who's ever seen a video of mine and decided to stick around for more. You guys and gals mean the world and back to me, even if I don't always know how to show it. You're literally funding my life, so I should at least be a little thankful. Along with showing my gratitude for the privileged position I have been generously granted, let this video act as a plan of action in addressing the state of my channel based on last year and what the year ahead of us will look like. If you came to this video thinking it was drama because of the thumbnail, my bad, B.
Hey guys, Critical here. Hey Peter, situation is crazy.
Feel free to jump around the chapters to only view the topics you care about. I'm about to nuke my audience retention with this one. Or am I? Also, if I sound congested and tired, it's because I am. The day after Christmas, I got sick, and I've been wrestling with sinus problems ever since. I've had a lot of time off to write more scripts, but unable to record myself speaking comfortably, so I've essentially been forced to take a break from video production. Go figure. I have a Patreon. I created it in late November and have been advertising it in most of my newer videos in a way that's very blatant, but also entertaining, at least I hope. The long and short of it is, I want those cold ones numbers, but there's also something in it if you donate. Only if you want to, however. I must stress that subscribing to the Patreon is optional, because my videos will always be free. But if you do choose to help me grift online, there's quite a bit in it for you. Primarily, I'll be able to work on more videos because I have a financial safety net to take a lot of time off, and if I get more of that, I can diverge all my attention to videos. I must do other things to support myself at the moment, but the more money I get, the more I can put out more work for you guys and gals. Maybe it sounds a bit cynical to say that, but it's the truth. There's only so much I can put into a project while I have so much holding me back at the moment. I fully intend to work harder to get that oh-so-lofty point of being able to pay all my bills from Patreon alone, rather than just complain about it. Every cent put towards my online brand is something I hope to earn by fulfilling promises and being entertaining rather than just as an obligation. You also gain access to my videos early, uncensored, get a chance to know what I'm working on before anyone else does. I don't have a creators Discord or anything, and that's mostly because I hate Discord and want to avoid having to moderate a server or deal with any crazies. The Patreon might seem a bit barren, but I'm going to rework it real soon, and it's going to look a whole lot more professional and jam-packed with extra content. I'm planning on adding a whole lot more exclusive content on there, maybe more tiers. I'll just keep doing my grift and finding ways to advertise the site in videos without begging too hard. I don't really know how to segue into this topic, so I'll just say it outright. I don't want to cover analog horror anymore. I'm very thankful for what the genre has brought to me. By that, I mean the money, because literally anyone can make X-explained videos and get a lot of money. My urban spook video is the most viewed video on the channel, and not for no reason. But I honestly just don't enjoy the genre anymore. I don't like any series. Series I thought were alright no longer feel fun to watch, not even the South Park one. I honestly don't know why I made that video. The series is kind of really cringe in retrospect, and everyone dunking on me in the comments section was completely correct to do so. I'm very thankful for how much it helped me grow, But if you're actively waiting for more analog horror content from me, then I must disappoint you and say it isn't happening. With one exception, but that won't come up until much later. I honestly feel like what I was doing was so lazy, just explaining what happens in the videos word for word made me miserable. But the cash really did help in a pinch. Also, the Urban Spook video has more views than like 9/10 of Spook's entire channel, which is pretty funny. I will stand by what I said in that video for the most part, but I will say it was one of my lazier uploads, and I don't plan to do something like that again for a long time. I wouldn't blame anyone for forgetting, but I also read creepypastas. I do it so infrequently that a lot of people don't know that, so for 2024, I decided that I will be uploading one creepypasta reading a week, finally making my channel banner accurate for once. Aside from that, I do want to talk about something I've always wanted to do, have my own wiki. Since I take so much obvious inspiration from some ordinary gamers, I'm sure I'm not alone when I say I spent a lot of time browsing his wikis looking for creepypastas. I would really like to have a wiki just like that, but it would be a massive undertaking, so it's not developing just yet. I would ideally like to have the same setup he had, just like copy-pasting stories in there as a giant repository, putting due diligence to credit respective authors and make sure things are well maintained with minimal levels of tomfoolery and vandalizing. I feel that part of the reason why creepypastas isn't as popular as it used to be is that it's all very scattershot across multiple wikis and pages. I don't want my hypothetical wiki to be the creepypasta place because that would just be a bit silly, but a lot of classic troll pastas back in the day are harder to find because the wiki got taken down, and I want to put some effort into preserving so many stories that spooked me or made me laugh so that they weren't lost to time. Certainly not trying to be a Samaritan by trying to preserve WarioWare not-so-smooth moves, but consider that hypothetical wiki as something to keep some classic stories alive and maybe some newly written stories safe for people to remember. But also keep it alive for future generations. That wiki would also be a tremendously useful place to upload my own creepypastas should I indulge myself and author a few of my own to read. Let it be known that strange gaming will be 99% of what I upload. The creepypastas have already been spoken for, but video games will always be the focal point of the channel. Lately, you've been seeing a lot more hour-long uploads, sometimes even 2 hours. This is a style I like a lot because it allows me to talk about everything I feel is necessary to bring up when I analyze a game, but I recognize that it's a bit tough to follow all the time. It takes me a full month to get a video out, and I can't always guarantee success. Sometimes it does pretty well, while other times it kind of flounders, and I've spent a bunch of time on something that won't bring me any profit. I still like doing this enough to the point where I'm okay losing any money doing it. I'm not solely finance focused on the channel, but I do want a balance between passion and getting paid. I have more games I want to give very long reviews, but not each upload will be this long. The videos I'm working on now are around 20 minutes each, but there is another series I'm still going to continue, and that's the BlazBlue reviews. Those aren't going anywhere, even if they predate Strange Gaming and need an enormous amount of time to complete. You thought Calamity Trigger's like 2.5 hours was long? Continuum Shift is shaping to be like 3 hours, so buckle the hell up whenever that comes out, probably March. Everything else doesn't need its own section, so I'll compile it into this small segment here. I've been asked a couple times if I'm interested in streaming, either on this channel or starting a Twitch channel, and my answer is, I would only do it if it gets a lot of money. I really dislike streamers and basically everything streaming as a form of entertainment made popular, and I wouldn't really want to spend a lot of time on streaming unless I got some kind of cash out of it. Not really in the sense of I would be begging for donations all the time like DSP, but more out of a sponsorship with G Fuel or something. I might stream TF2 at some point in the channel for fun, but I don't really have a good setup for doing so without bugging the hell out of my neighbors and roommates, so don't hold your breath on streaming anytime soon. On the topic of sponsorships, I've actually never done one on the channel before. I generally don't like them because I feel like a lot of the products being promoted are very sketchy and I don't really want to peddle a scam to anyone. But I haven't received any invitations to promote a scam, nary a single email. What that means is that you may or may not be seeing a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor read while I talk about an obscure video game. I know it sucks, people wouldn't like it, but consider this. They pay like $2,000 a video. You know what I can do with $2,000 in my pocket? I can buy more obscure video games. That's like 2 copies of Rule of Rose, thank you very much. I don't have any sponsors yet, and I'm not really sure if they're supposed to come to me or if I reach out, but if I do get any, then I'll make the ad reads funny and not lifeless, I promise. One last thing, I feel like I should be more involved in collaborations. I've had a little crossover thing going on during the Mario ARG with KTB, and I had a brief voice cameo for Morbid for Fun's video, also about the Mario ARG, but I've wanted to branch out and maybe do something fun on someone else's channel, or someone comes into my channel, but thinking about it made me realize I don't really have any YouTube friends or any connections like that. Except for KTB, dude's solid through and through. I don't think making a connection like that is something you can just establish willingly, it's more of a go with the flow kind of thing with the circumstances, but I'm definitely open, at least in the fun sense. I don't really want to start mixing any serious business talk or payment stuff going on. Look at me, I run a YouTube channel. Do you think I'm prepared for the real world? Every commission for art I've ever created, I've played an artist in Steam games. It's something of a bucket list entry of mine to get some kind of video collab with Mutahar, but that won't exactly happen overnight. I would be so down for a Madular link up though. And I think that's all I wanted to say. Hopefully by the time this video goes live, I'll be free from my illnesses and return to regular production unmedicated and unrestrained. Until then, have a lovely rest of your day.